Hi, Bernth here. Welcome to my new Q&A series where I take time to answer all your questions concerning technique, theory, gear and many more topics. Leave a comment or send me a message if you have any questions yourself. For the first installment, I'd like to start by talking a bit about string gauge. I got a message on Facebook recently. It's in German and essentially says, "Hi, I've got a question. Can I use a heavy string gauge for a guitar tuned to E standard, or are these sets just made for low or drop tunings?" I couldn't find anything on the internet concerning this topic. So let's talk a bit about string gauges. I'm sure that the amount of different strings for electric or acoustic guitar is pretty overwhelming at first. So I want to show you the strings that I play live and in the studio, and give you some information on how to decide which string gauge is perfect for you. This is a very important topic since your strings are a huge part of your overall sound. There are a couple of factors you should consider here. First of all, the tuning of your guitar. I mostly play in E standard because the kind of gigs and jobs I play require that. I play electric and acoustic guitar in the Austrian pop outlet Silence Speer, but also have an extreme metal background. I played session guitar for bands like Bernth a couple of years ago. Here my guitar was tuned to drop C. If I'm going for low tuning nowadays, I mostly use my 7-string guitars I got from Ibanez. The lower your guitar is tuned, the thicker your strings should be. So for E standard I play 10s, for a tuning like drop D or even C I would pick 11s. This number refers to the highest string in the set. The high E string in these sets is 10 thousandths of an inch with the first set and 11 thousandths of an inch with the thicker gauge. 9s are also common. These are very light and allow you to bend your strings easier. The downside to that is intonation. If you pick really hard on a lighter string, you'll notice that the note tends to start sharp even if you tuned the string correctly, before going down into its proper pitch. If you're trying to track multiple takes of the same guitar part, you will run into some problems here. So if you like the sound of aggressive downstrokes, that's probably not the right gauge for you. 10s feel right for me because I can still perform big bends easily and they hold the tuning well with fast and powerful picking. I recommend these sets. To me, they are the best all-round solution. When you play really hard or in a lower tuning, you might want to try 11s. These strings are harder to bend, but if you're a rhythm guitar player in a metal band, for example, you will love these sets because they will give you some great punch and also flexibility in the high end. I also always loved to play around with mixed sets in lower tunings. These are usually available with all popular companies. Here you have a light top for your solos and lead guitar sections and a heavy bottom for your riffs. I'm lucky enough to be endorsed by Elixir strings. They send me a lot of different sets before I go on tour or into the studio to record for different projects. For my electric guitars in E standard, I go with the light OptiWeb strings. They have a nice bright tone and I can absolutely recommend them. The quality feels great and they sound amazing even after a couple of weeks. For acoustic guitar I use the NanoWeb 11s. These give me the best sound and stability in a live situation. We play very long sets and there are a lot of acoustic guitar solos and challenging lead sections in there. These strings feel very smooth and also sound great for a long time. Another thing you should consider is the scale length of your guitar. That is the distance between the nut and the bridge saddle. A longer scale length means that there's a tighter feel and snappier attack to the strings. To conclude this video, here's my answer. You can play any string gauge you want, as long as it feels right and good for you. Yes, you can use a heavy string set even if you play in E standard. I personally recommend 10s since they feel like the best from both worlds. If you are a rhythm guitar player and don't need the extra flexibility, you can also work with 11s or even heavier sets. Give it a try and see what works best for you now that you know the string sets that I work with. That's it for this week. Send me a message or leave a comment and I will answer your question next time. It could also be related to technique, theory, gear, or your career as a guitar player, for example. Thanks for watching and see you soon.